This is an introduction to the structure of the human brain. The model that we have before us is about the right size of a human brain. This is the superior surface here. This is a lateral surface. This is an inferior surface. The model here shows the structure in some colors. The colors here would not be present in a real brain. Our first goal is to be able to see and understand the four regions of the brain. The brain structure has four major regions, and three of them can be seen externally. This large cap-like portion with all the folds in it is called the cerebrum. The smaller area with the smaller little folds in it here is called the cerebellum. And coming down from the center of the cerebrum here is this white stalk-like piece that is called the brainstem. The brainstem is connected directly to the spinal cord. In fact, the brain and the spinal cord are one object. We just cut here artificially where we believe the brain tissue ends and the spinal cord tissue begins, but it really is one object. Here we're just studying the basic structure of the brain. So the brainstem, the cerebrum, and the cerebellum are the three regions of the brain that are obvious from the outside. Now, what we're going to do is divide this into those parts, and then we'll get to see the fourth part of this. So here I have taken off the cerebellum. The light-colored area here is actually the tissue where it was connected into the brainstem, and it's useful to note here that the cerebellum is not connected at all to the cerebrum, that it is only anchored into the brainstem, where you see these little metal posts. Now let's take the cerebrum, and I'm going to divide the brain into two parts here. And I'm going to remove the brainstem and another part there, so that here is one hemisphere of the cerebrum. And let's do the same with the other hemisphere here. This is the other hemisphere. And so this right here is the cerebrum without the other regions. You can see these hollow areas up inside where this part fits. And I'm going to put this back together now. And now what you're looking at here is the brainstem and the fourth region of the brain, which is known as the diencephalon. That's fairly easy to tell the brainstem from the diencephalon. The stalk-like area here is brainstem, and that little cord right there that you see would be the dividing line between the brainstem and the diencephalon. Essentially, where the brain, where all of this tissue flares out right here, right? This area where the tissue flares out here, all of this from here up is what we would call the diencephalon. And you can see it includes two big lumps that fit up into those hollow spaces in the cerebrum. So you want to be able to identify the four regions of the brain: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the brainstem, and the diencephalon.